Welcome back on this glorious yet challenging day. So we mentioned last week that there are 4 aspects to know that will help us as humans to go through life. When life throws in us challenging moments, challenging events around the world, and many times very personal events, the unfairness, the deaths, the destruction, the horrifying situations that many times we find ourselves. But before we go there, I have a little story for you, and that will sort of be an intro to the first aspect. That in the 50s, there lived a young woman in her 20s in a rural town in Mississippi. And this woman that was a maid in someone's house and did her service in order to get paid by the end of the week to be able to feed herself and her child. She'd always talk to her daughter and tell her daughter, I hope when you grow older, you're going to find a nice house where people are going to treat you well while you be a maid in their house. And they will look after you, and you will have enough money to feed yourself and your family. And that was the constant message she has told her daughter. And the question is, why wouldn't that woman want a different message? The message of more, there's more out there in the world. You don't need to be a maid like me. I might have not have a good education. I might not feel good about myself. I might be scared of approaching the world with confidence, but I will do everything in my power that you don't have to live like me. And the reason why that mom did not tell her daughter that is because so many of us don't see a complete picture of life. We see a very narrow picture of life. We all have, if you could imagine, being in a living room and a dining room where you're put one screen or 2 screen that keeps on playing for you. And this is just about one topic in the entire world, when really there's tens and thousands of screens and different ideas. But if you sit and watch one screen constantly and you live in your little bubble, you live in your little world, that's the only thing that you think is available. Most children listening to their mother telling them that, that's what they would believe, because the deepest connection we have, even to our parents that we don't like as children, is our parents, because there's this bond. And if they tell us that the best thing in our life is to have a good master, a good employer that will pay us well and treat us nice when we are the nanny, when we help out in their house, that's what the kids go for. But this particular child, somewhere in her heart, she knew that there's more than this one little projection, one little video cassette, or not cassette, this little video player that keeps on playing the same ideology, the same belief, the same mission statement. She believed that there's something more. So she did something that most children will not do. And she decided to get curious and actually not listen to her mother, although her mother's intentions was very pure and just wanted her not only to make a few dollars to survive, but to have a good owner, have a caring and gentle owner that will treat her nicely. But it's very interesting that that girl that used to listen to her mother on a regular basis, how she always hoped for her to have a beautiful home where people are going to treat her nicely as she's being a maid and surviving in this rough life. The fact that she thought differently, she became differently. And not only did she not pursue her mother's dreams, but today that little girl is one of the wealthiest in the world. You might even know her. Oprah Winfrey, worth today almost 2.8 billion. Almost 2.8 billion. And not because she had good luck. She actually, if you look at her history, she had a very rough ride as she climbed the ladder, as she went up the ladder. But it was that she, at a very young age, and her heart says, there's more than one video. There's more than one perspective. There's more than one idea. And the reason why we suffer so much is because we cling, we hold on to one idea that came to us from our childhood, even though the world around us is open to different ideas. But that is human nature, that this is the comfort zone, this is where we are. So next week, as you join me within number 1, I would like to put a few thousands of events that happen to us humans. I will just put actually just 7 events that happened in the last 110 years, the last 109 years, plus one event that happened about 700 years ago. Just to give you a little bit of a broader picture of the world. And as I said, we would need thousands, but I'll be here for many years. I'm just going to give it to you very short. 7 events. I'm almost probably going to spend 2 minutes an event or less, unless some of them need more attention. And that will be the first aspect that will help you cope with life in general, and especially today's day and age. Thanks for listening. And if you like this content, I so appreciate you pressing the like. But till then, always do remember, you are way greater than you think you are. Bye now.